Now, Dwaine, when it comes to equipment for trolling, you need, not a lot, but you need specific and a quality equipment.
Yes, and right here we've got a line counter reel that the depth curve in the book, this gets you to that specific depth and gets you back to it each time. This particular rod is a collapsible rod. It's a 7'6" rod. Myself personally, I like the shorter rods. These come in 7'6" and 8'6". These line counters, there's varieties of sizes and shapes, but as long as you get something to get right back to where you were.
Now this holds a lot of line, it looks like, too. It's a pretty big spool. This
Yes.
is also, is that a clicker on this, too?
Yes, there's a clicker on there,
right?
And there's free spool. It's a top-of-the-line reel.
Right. It's certainly not like necessarily like a casting reel, because you're using this for trolling and you're letting line out and so forth, and that's where this comes in handy for sure. Now the rod is a pretty sturdy rod, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, and they're built just to troll with. The steady pressure against the rod all the time is hard on some.
Now this line, this is a thin line, but strong, isn't it? What kind of line is this?
Yes, this is fire line.
Fire line.
And I've got about 300 yards on here, and the rest of it is backed with mono.
So when you let this out to the side, you can let it out 100 some feet to the side, and then still maybe 50 to 100 feet behind that. So you're letting out quite a bit of line each time you use. So you need a big spool.
Great. Yeah, there's sometimes you've got 300 feet of line out.
Great. Good big crank reel, bring those big walleyes in.
Oh, yeah.
What would you use for bottom bouncing?
Well, this is more what I'd use for the bottom bouncers. Just a medium to medium heavy action rod and a good bait casting reel. I've also got fire line on this one.
Yeah, you can rig this up with the bottom bouncer, without a problem snapping it on. This would go down the bottom. And this is pretty much like a bass rod, most people would have. It doesn't have to be too sturdy, but just strong enough to be able to get it down and hold the line and whatever. Yeah, it's great. Not a problem. Now, I know one thing. When I get on your boat, I'd see nothing but these rod holders. You certainly need those, do you not?
Oh, yes. And this specific rod holder, there's all shapes and sizes. This one is better adapted to this type of boat, and they all have their ups and downs, but the main thing is that they keep the rod in the boat.
Well, that's the main thing, and plus, when you're setting out 4 up to 6 rods out, you really need to have it spaced out correctly, and you put it on your boat correct, and it locks them in, and then you don't have to worry about just sit back, catch a fish now and then.
Right.
Absolutely. Great. Well, that's not too much equipment, but it's precise equipment for some precise trolling.
Yes, it is.
Great.